Jason, on today's show, we are bragging on one of the coolest clients in the whole world.
Who are we bragging on?
Daniel, the founder, the owner of Daniel's Heat and Air, based in Amarillo, Texas.
Ooh, Amarillo.
One of the coolest cities in the world. But
home of the 72-ounce steak.
Ooh, yeah. Jason, have you ever been to a really cool, like a cool wine bar, a cool like sushi bar, a place where only the cool people go?
I have, yeah.
You look like one of the people that goes there because you are cool. I am inherently awkward, but you look cool.
Thanks.
So we chose some cool music here.
Oh, yeah.
To talk about our cool client, Daniel, with Daniel's Heat and Air. This guy is just, he's on trend. He's on point. This guy is on fire. He is a diligent doer. And let me tell you how cool this guy is.
How cool is he?
This guy is so cool that a lot of times when you're sleeping at night and you wake up and it's like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and you say, should I have some ice cream or should I go back to bed? You wake up and you realize the pillow is hot. It's a hot pillow. So what do? You flip the pillow over and you discover the cool side of the pillow.
Oh, yeah.
This guy is cooler than the cool side of the pillow.
So what's cooler than being cool is actually Daniel.
Yes. This guy is cooler than a polar bear's toenails.
Ooh.
Oh, well, here we go. Without any further ado, back to our brag session, our win of the week session, our praise session, where we are praising a diligent doer out there by the name of Daniel. His company's called Daniel's Heat and Air. Check this guy out at AmarilloAirConditioning.com. If you're a lazy person and an intender, someone who's a pretender, someone who doesn't want to actually do things but wants to complain about their current existence, if you're somebody who's the opposite of the diligent Daniel, this show is going to be more offensive than watching somebody slap a cute, innocent, kind, and joyful baby. And now, without any further ado, it is time for yet another edition of
Wins of the Week!
Doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, working.
You Can Do It!
Andrew.
Oh, the incredible Daniel. How are you, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. First one's the toughest one. It's pretty hard. I struggle with this one. What is your name, name of your company, and location?
Okay, name of my company is Daniel's Heating and Air Conditioning, located here in the great city of Amarillo, Texas, home of the 72-ounce steak, and we have the second biggest canyon in the United States, which is the Paladuro Canyon.
How did you first hear about Thrive?
I first heard about Thrive May 6th. Clay came to our church, which is now called his church. Pastor Brian Gibson invited him, and Clay was a guest speaker. And from there, I started listening to his podcast, and that same day, actually. And from that time, I've been listening ever since.
Perfect. Awesome. So you have to think back a little bit, but what was your first experience with Thrive? Was it a phone call, the podcast, the radio show? What was that first interaction? I know you said you listened to the podcast. Tell me a little bit more about Clay speaking at your church in Amarillo.
Clay started talking about business, and that's what I do. Is I was interested in learning more about business, and the first interaction, he was calling me out. I was sitting on the front row, and he called me the nice tan guy. he referred to himself as the pale white guy, and he was pretty funny up there on stage, and pretty entertaining. At the same time, he was talking about business, and I was listening, and if Pastor Brian brought him over, I knew he was somebody worth listening to, and I started listening to the podcast, and ever since then, I've been listening since about May 6th.
There you go. And so you started listening to the podcast, and eventually you decided to reach out. So tell me a little bit about that first phone call. How did that first phone call with Thrive go? How would you describe that?
The first phone call, we reached out in April. That was it was March. Okay. Yeah, The first call reached out in March, and we set up a time to attend one of the conferences in, I think it was April 4th when we attended the conference. And that's all it took. I sat there, I was all in.
What did that first phone call with Thrive? Describe that phone call for us.
Yeah, the first phone call with Clay, he called me right on time, right when he said he was going to call. I started talking to him. We talked for a good hour, and he was telling me how the coaching experience would benefit me, and that was a week after we attended the conference on April 4th, and I was already all in after leaving the conference. I had signed up with Abby over at the conference, so I already knew I wanted to start getting coached by the Thrive Time team, and it was a good experience, and it's been good ever since.
There it is. And so did you happen to read any reviews or watch any video testimonials before you decided to attend the workshop or decided to sign up for the coaching program?
Yes, I read reviews. I watched some of the testimonials, and I listened to a lot of podcasts that you guys had. And from those podcasts, I ended up changing a lot of things the way I do business. I started seeing things work better just from listening to you guys, and I started implementing a lot of the strategies that you guys talk about. And I think probably the biggest one was getting reviews. Before I started listening to the podcast, I probably had maybe 20 reviews, and then when Clay went to the church, he mentioned one of the biggest things you can do for your business is get reviews. And from that time on, I started getting reviews. I started seeing people calling and talking about, hey, I saw your reviews on Google, and you look like you guys are a good company. And I want that guy Dan to come out and work on my air conditioner. And I started getting the guys involved, the other technicians, in getting reviews, and that's been the biggest part about getting coached by you guys and starting to implementing the review process, and that has grown my business over 15% just from the reviews. It's been crazy. I didn't know reviews work like that, and nowadays everybody looks at reviews, and that's how I found you guys. That's how I knew you guys were for real, because I looked at your reviews, I looked at your testimonials, I listened to the podcast, and of course Pastor Brian vouched for you guys, and that's all it took. And I was already all in when I went to the conference. I was pretty excited.
Perfect. So how has Thrive helped you become a more proactive person?
Well, Thrive has helped me become a more proactive person. One of the strategies we've implemented would be the group interviews. The group interviews have been huge. Before that, I was being held hostage by my employees. I had some really good technicians, but their attitudes were horrible, and I felt like, okay, I have all this work, and I cannot let them go, because if I let them go, I won't be able to do the work. And so implementing those group interviews every Wednesday, they see those people coming in. They see the people coming in, and they're like, they start thinking, okay, is this person going to take my job? Is this person going to take my job? Because they hear me talking to Lisa and Karen in the office about the people we interviewed, and they're a little worried. Hey, is this person going to take my job? So they step up their game even more, and they're going above and beyond. When the previous employees, they didn't care. They knew I couldn't fire them because we had so much work to do, and they would show up late all the time, or they would just call in out of nowhere, and then I would end up going out there to do the work myself. So that doesn't happen anymore. If there is somebody that's not holding up their end, well, I give them a warning or two, and then I bring in the next person. Or I'll try the person out that I just hired for a week. I'll try him out for a week. If he's not up to par, we'll go ahead and let him go really quick. I mean, hire fast, fire fast.
That's right. That's a lot of wins you got there. Daniel, how would you describe your weekly coaching calls?
My weekly coaching calls with Andrew are phenomenal. They're absolutely the best.
Oh, wow.
I work them every single Thursday morning. Pretty pumped up, get the guys going out of the door, and then I'm sitting there preparing for Mr. Andrew to call, and it's absolutely the best. He's helped me out on a number of things, helping me track my calls, helping me track my leads. Now I know where my leads are coming from, optimizing the Google page, showing me how to do podcasts so we could add content to the website. But it's been absolutely the best experience I could have ever done. I mean, it was a great deal getting signed up with you guys.
Awesome. And so what has been your favorite part of the whole Thrive coaching experience? Out of all the benefits you've described, what's been your favorite part?
Jason, before we get back into the interview with Daniel, we've got some epic music here. So let's ride this wave. And very few people on the planet are as diligent as Daniel. People who actually execute the proven plan. Talk to me about people that you've coached with, real clients that you've helped who execute the plan. People that actually do their homework. Who are these people, Jason?
Well, we have Mr. Blake with Trusted Estate Planning Attorneys.
Blake with Trusted Estate Planning Attorneys. He's getting it done. Who else is getting it done, Jason?
We have Christina with Angel's Touch.
Christina with Angel's Touch, based up there in the Boston area, Massachusetts.
Yes, sir.
Getting it done.
Oh, yeah.
Who else is getting it done?
And then we have Lindsay and Krista of Revitalized Medical Spa.
Lindsay and who?
Krista.
Lindsay and Krista are getting it done, slaying dragons every day. If you're out there,
Every day.
you've got to decide to make your life epic. You can't just sit there on the sidelines and wait for things to happen. You've got to take action. My head exploded. Back to the interview.
My favorite part about the Thrive experience, I think getting all my questions answered and the availability of you guys. If I need something, you guys call right back. You'll find out the information I need, and just pointing me in the direction that this business needs to go. We're looking to franchise, and that's the main goal. And I'm pretty excited, pretty pumped about doing that. But yeah, it's been a great deal.
There it is. Perfect. And Daniel, what has been the most difficult thing to execute about the whole Thrive coaching program? What's been the hardest thing that you had to do, but it's helped your business grow?
Let me think about that one.
Let's see if we can stump Daniel. Oh, yeah.
I can't think of anything that was the hardest thing for me to do. I mean, it's all been common sense. Once you understand where you guys are going and where you want to take the business, it's really all just common sense. It makes sense. None of it's been hard. It's just doing it, I guess, is probably the hardest part.
Jason, that right there is why Daniel is successful. Daniel's diligent. He actually does the action items.
Right.
So let's go back to your trifecta, the clients you were bragging on here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to pick any one of your clients. One of the three that you mentioned that were really, really getting it done.
Yeah, I'll start with Blake.
Okay, so Blake. So what is Blake doing every week? Talk to us about the strategy that he's implementing, because he's actually doing the strategy that we created for him. Every single client who reaches out to us, I personally will take between 3 and 4 hours. You've seen them,
yep,
to make a business plan for each and every client. We'll do a 13-point assessment with you, And that's why we only work with 160 clients, because I personally have to make the business plan every time.
Right.
Which requires me actually doing it.
Correct.
Which takes me 3 to 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
After I make the business plan, I give the business plan to you as the implementer, you as their coach, you as their guide down the proven path. They actually have to do it.
Right.
And as a coach, your job is to explain to them what to do and answer any questions they have along the way. But talk to me about some of the things that Blake does to actually implement the system.
Well, so right off the bat, we started focusing on his Dream 100.
Yep.
We talked about that for maybe 2 meetings just until we had a really good understanding of it. But then after that, he found the list of the people that he needed to work with, that could just help his brand. And he hits
What does he do for a living?
So he is an estate planning attorney.
And can you explain to the listeners out there who are not familiar with what the Dream 100 is? Can you explain to the listeners out there, just very basic, assuming that we know nothing? Maybe there's a listener who's just listened to this show for the first time and they don't know what the Dream 100 system is. Explain what the Dream 100 system is and how he's gone about implementing it.
Right. So just in a nutshell, the Dream 100 is it's a list of 100 people that could change your life by working with them.
Got it.
And so what he did was he decided that the people directly in his network that he would benefit the most from working with were going to be life insurance agents. They were going to be CPAs, basically anybody who handled financials as far as death would go. It's a little morbid, but and so
if somebody dies,
right,
the financial planner or the person who would help the family who just lost a loved one, maybe that accountant,
right,
or that person in their life that would be dealing with how to sort out the financial aspects of somebody dying. That's who he put on his Dream 100?
Right, because he realized that they service one thing, but they do not do what he does. And so by working with them, they would immediately just give him recurring business.
So by working with accountants. So he put on his list, on his Dream 100 list, a list of accountants?
Yep.
And how many did he put on his list?
I think right now he is right around 50. We
50.
started off small,
Yeah.
and then he started growing, and then as he's getting these repeat meetings, because like what he'll do with is he doesn't stop. So he called enough to be able to get in front of them, and then not only did he make the call, set an appointment, he meets with them every quarter, takes them out, so he like wows them and keeps that relationship going, and then that way that has actually, or I guess by result, that has caused people to also refer Blake to other people. So he's building his Dream 100 through his Dream 100 people.
And where's he based?
He is in Las Vegas, Nevada.
So he's in Las Vegas, Nevada, and he's an attorney.
Right.
And here in Amarillo, we have a thriver who's an air conditioning guy. It doesn't matter what the industry is. If you have a business that is stuck and it can't grow currently, or maybe you're stuck and you feel like you've just been stuck for years. Maybe you're stuck at $1.2 million for years. We had one thriver I talked to who was literally stuck at $1.2 million or around that number for years. Years. I talked to a guy the other day who's a medical professional who was stuck at like $2 million. And in 3 weeks, I've helped the guy grow dramatically. Jason, how can somebody possibly grow a business grow their business by 15% in just 90 days like Daniel's doing?
By getting a path that shows them the clear route for growth and then diligently hitting each and every one of those items.
That right there, my friends, is the step one is reach out to us. Step two, we will do a 13-point assessment with you. And I say me. I personally hop on the phone call with you. And I will invest an hour with you if I think it's worth your time or my time. Then I'm going to give you a customized plan. Now, at that point, you have to decide, are you going to be a diligent Daniel? Are you going to be a boss Blake? Are you going to get that stuff done? Or are you going to just want to know? Watch out for that cowbell.
I know, I just almost knocked it over.
It's whenever you're in the Thrive studio, you never know if there's going to be a cowbell or a coffee cup. It's like a minefield out there in the studio. But you never know. You have to decide today, are you going to be the kind of person who's a diligent doer or just a happy hoper? And I never know how you're going to be. I don't know. When you fill out the form, I don't know if you're a diligent doer or a happy hoper.
Right.
If you're out there and you get offended by this next idea, you probably should unsubscribe to the podcast. It's probably not good for you.
Yeah.
But we had a thriver, a non-thriver. We had a happy hoper.
Right.
A diligent doer. A diligent doer is somebody who actually acts upon their dreams and visions and takes the action needed. A happy hoper is somebody that hopes someday in the future they'll have success. This guy wanted to liberate, he said, liberate the people of Israel from the Western influence. He wanted to make it where Israel didn't need America to help them.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going to do this by helping them to desalinate water, to pull the salt out of the water, basically creating an unlimited supply of fresh water for Israel to liberate them from Western influence. That was his goal.
Interesting.
And he wanted to do this by taking demilitarized nuclear submarines and converting them into desalination plants of some kind.
Gotcha.
I asked him, well, what's your job? What do you do? He says, I work at Jimmy John's. Now, I'm not saying that if you work at Jimmy John's, you're not qualified to desalinate water and to liberate the Israelis from the Western tyranny, as this gentleman put it. But that's not what we do.
No.
You've got to have a product or a service that people actually want for me to be able to help you. I'm not a big fan of working with startups.
No.
Now, I've worked with a lot of startups and have helped them, but if you are a startup, I'm a fan of you if you have an actual product that people actually want. But Jason, have you seen this before where somebody has attended a conference or a workshop and they have a product or a service, and they're great people.
Yeah.
But they've created a product or a service that people don't want?
Yeah, like they could inherently be amazing people, like some of the best people that we'll ever meet. But unfortunately, the product or the idea that they have doesn't solve a problem.
Yeah.
Or it's already out there and somebody's doing it way better.
Why does Chance the Rapper's music work?
I think Chance the Rapper's music works because it hits people on multiple levels, but he's also filling a need. Like,
what does that need?
So that need is for a difference in the rap game, essentially. So like he'll work in choir gospel music, and there are a lot of people who enjoy that but don't get it within like the modern rap spectrum. He has features on there that are people that other people want to hear in relation to what he's doing also.
So I'm going to cue up a little sample from Chance the Rapper. When the blessings go up, when the praises go up, the blessings come down.
Right.
What's that song called? You know what that's called? I'm not trying to paint you into a corner, right?
No,
Well, I'll cue it up in just a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to cue it up.
I know it's from Coloring Book.
And I want you to explain to me why people like this song.
Okay.
It seems like blessings keep falling in my lap. It seems like blessings keep falling in my lap.
The question is, why do people like this music?
I don't make songs for free, I make them for freedom. Don't believe in kings, believe in the kingdom.
Chance the Rapper.
Chisel me into stone prayer, whistle me into song air. Dying laughing with Krillin saying something about blowing hair.
All right, so Jason, why does that song, it's called Blessings, by the way, I just looked it up, Blessings by Chance the Rapper, which everybody should go right now to Spotify or YouTube and check out the song Blessings by Chance the Rapper.
True.
Why does Chance the Rapper work? Because he's not particularly a great singer.
No, but that's one of the things that I think does make it work is he's unapologetically him. So his voice is unique. It's got like a nice raspiness to it. Like you said, like the notes might not be there, but it's catchy to listen to because he's not auto-tuning himself. He's just being him. But then on top of that amazing backbeat, you got Donnie Trumpet just providing that amazing trumpet in the background. Like it works because there's so many different elements.
So you're saying that people actually like his music?
Absolutely, 100%.
See, that is the issue. Do people like your music? If you're a restaurant, do people like your food? If you're a haircut business, do people actually appreciate the haircuts that you provide? If you are a pastor, do people actually like to listen to your sermons? If you're a podcaster, do people actually listen and like to listen to you teach and preach? Do people actually want your product? Now, Jason, if you are trying to sell a product that people don't want, no matter how much branding you have and search engine optimization you have and marketing you have and accounting you have and HR you have, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is you're digging yourself into a money hole because you're spending all of this money trying to generate hype, but people don't want it, so you're not going to get a return on your investment whatsoever.
What I have found is people love our in-person workshops.
Right.
Therefore, they'll sign up for a year to have unlimited access to the Thrive Time Show video. You can go up there to thrivetimeshow.com, and it's like $19 a month, and you have unlimited access to videos taught by millionaires, mentors, billionaires. I mean, huge success stories are teaching those videos. And you get that, and you get the conferences. What I found is that the vast majority of people love to watch some videos, but then they really want to go to a workshop.
Yeah.
And the combination of both of those, that's what people want. And so if you're out there today and you have a real product or a real service that people want, we can help you. It turns out people in Amarillo are hot.
That's true.
Because the summers are hot in Amarillo.
That's very true.
And so if you want your house to be less hot in Amarillo by morning, you want to call an air conditioning provider. Turns out most people use Google or the internet to search for the products and services they want. And it turns out that if your company comes up top in YouTube and Google, the number one search engine in the world, YouTube is the number two. If your products or services, if your solutions to their problems come up in the search engine conversation when they're looking for the solutions, what's going to happen, Jason?
Oh, people are going to be lighting up your phone.
That's it. That's how it works. So if you're out there today and you have a real product that people really like, I would encourage you to reach out to us. If you have a product that you think people might like and you're not sure, you can call us and I can help you, but I'm going to tell you this. Once we market it and get it in front of people, if the market rejects your idea, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means that your idea isn't economically viable. And now, without any further ado, back to our interview with Daniel the Diligent Daniel, based in Amarillo, Texas.
I really don't have an issue with doing stuff. I love getting stuff done.
So, Daniel, do you have any other big wins? You know, you talked about reviews. You talked about being more proactive, the growth of your company. You're getting deals from Google. People are calling you because of your Google reviews. Do you have any other big wins that you want to share?
I think the biggest win that I want to share would be my Google reviews. I have 361 Google reviews. That's huge. The most in Amarillo, Texas. And I beat a local competitor 2 weeks ago. He's in my rearview mirror now. Looking back, I'm sure I'm still in a lot of his business.
That's right. That's a big win. All right, Daniel, thank you so much for being on the Thrive Time Show.
Thank you, Andrew.
Do you seriously want to grow your business? Get the tools, the templates, the training, the videos, and the workshop you need to be successful at ThriveTimeSchool.com. For only $228 per year and only 2,500 spots available, don't miss out and reserve your spot today at ThriveTimeSchool.com.